Have you ever been betrayed by someone you loved? How far would you go to move on and find happiness again? And what would you do if your past suddenly wanted to be part of your future? Welcome back to our channel. Today we have a jaw-dropping story that will leave you on the edge of your seat. It's a tale of betrayal, unexpected romance, and an upcoming wedding that's stirring up all kinds of drama. Imagine discovering that the person you trusted with your heart has cheated on you. The pain, the anger, the heartbreak. But what happens when you find solace in the unlikeliest of places, in the arms of her younger sister? Just when you think the storm has passed and you're ready to start a new chapter, your ex wants to be a part of the happiest day of your life. Curious to know how it all unfolds? Trust me, you won't want to miss the end of this story. It's a roller coaster of emotions that leads to a heart-wrenching conclusion. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and stay tuned till the end. Male ex-girlfriend, 27 female sister, 22 female, is still living with me over a year after the breakup. I was with my ex-girlfriend. Let's call her Sarah, from secondary school. We'd been together for 10 years and were working hard to save up and get married. We were working in different cities about 70 miles apart, but I would get the train every weekend to be with her. Anyway, when her sister, let's call her Katie, applied to university in my city, she lived in halls for the first year, but couldn't afford a place to live in a decent location, so I said that she could come and live with me rent-free. It wasn't weird at all. I'd known her since she was 9, and it made everything more manageable for her family. Everything was okay for about a year, even though she was tidy and pretty much kept to herself, had a few friends over but didn't party or bring boyfriends home while I was there. I assumed she did at weekends. When I was away just over a year and a half ago, Sarah told me she had been massively cheating on me. She had been in a relationship with another guy for about 3 months and had been living in his house, only coming back to the flat for weekends when I was coming down to visit. She decided that she wanted to live with him openly and was tired of lying to me. She admitted that most weekends she would find time to go back and have sex with him if there was an opportunity to. It was a horrible shock, and I felt completely numb for weeks. Katie was busy with university and was unbelievably nice about the whole thing. She stayed out of my way and got on with her studies and didn't bring her friends or boyfriends home. She finished her degree. I assumed that she would move on and move out, but she got a job at the university admin department and is still living here. It's not awkward for me in terms of living with her, but it's really difficult to explain to friends, and it's still a little painful because she looks a lot like Sarah. I don't feel comfortable saying to women that I live with my cheating ex-girlfriend's little sister, but I can't exactly tell her to find somewhere else because none of this is her fault. What should I do, honestly? If she's not being awkward about it, and you're cool with it, don't do anything. Like you said, it's not her fault. She probably didn't even know, and she's just trying to make her way in the world. Update. Am I the a-hole for dating my ex-girlfriend's younger sister? I posted the full backstory a couple weeks ago on a different subreddit, but I'll pray CIT here for you. I'm 28 male, been with Sarah, 27 female. Not her real name since we were teenagers, and we were living in different cities trying to save up enough for a house together. Her sister Katie, 22 female again, not her real name, applied to the university of my city, and after a year in the halls moved in with me for economy's sake. We had known each other forever. It was fine, solved problems all around. Just over a year and a half ago, Sarah told me that she had been massively cheating on me. She had been in a relationship with another guy for about 3 months and had been living in his house, only coming back to the flat at weekends when I was coming down to visit. She decided that she wanted to live with him openly and was tired of lying to me. She admitted that most weekends she would find time to go back and have sex with them if there was an opportunity to once I had fallen asleep. It was a horrible shock, and I felt completely numb for weeks. After 18 months, Katie was still living with me non-romantically. I wasn't sure what to do about this, and when I posted on relationships, I was just coming around to the realization that I liked having her around and didn't want her to leave. Since I posted, we spent more time together socially, and on Monday, I asked if she'd like to go to dinner as a kind of date. We had a really nice time. We kissed once, but we didn't go further. We both realized this is a complex situation. I want to take things slowly. I can't help feeling that I'm irretrievably an a-hole, though, am I? Edit. Thank you all for the comments. Whether you hold me or not is the correct verb. We have had a long talk first just between us and then with her dad and aunt. Her mom died 6 years ago. They have been very supportive since Sarah and I broke up, and we wanted to involve them before going any further. We were going to date things very slowly, and her dad is going to pay half the rent. He offered to pay to help her move out, as some people had suggested, but for financial reasons, that would be difficult for him and impossible for her to manage financially. We haven't decided about telling Sarah. I haven't spoken to her since it happened, and Katie has only spoken to her in occasional messages. We have talked about everything that has been raised here at some length. It is a difficult situation, and there is a power dynamic that we have done what we can to mitigate. Ultimately, we do have feelings for each other and have for some time. I would absolutely never have dated her for revenge or for any other reason, and I would never do anything to hurt or upset her. I understand if you still think I'm an a-hole, but I'm trying my best. Verdict, not the a-hole. Update. I have had 2 requests for updates, and I'm not sure if there's a threshold, but I thought I'd share anyway in case anyone was curious, and to say thank you for the advice. It did shape the way we went about getting together, who we told, and when. Our families have been incredibly supportive, and we are really happy together. It has been about a month, but it feels so perfectly right. We have had endless conversations about our feelings and our plans. We have started to redecorate the house, and we are planning to go on holiday together in the summer. It feels so much more wonderful than I had ever imagined it would be. I don't know what else to add, but if you ever find yourself in a difficult situation, talking it through is so important. Everybody feels safer and better about everything when you communicate. All the best. So now you say you have feelings for Sarah's sister, and you have for quite some time. While you've been dating Sarah, is that why you wanted her to leave originally? To sort of stop yourself from giving in to desire? Or do you just like her because you still have a thing for Sarah and she reminds you of Sarah? Update. 4 years later, we're now engaged and we're starting to plan the wedding for early next year. The relationship between my fiancée and her sister, my ex, is better than it was. They exchange messages on birthdays and Christmas, but don't meet up or exchange presents. She is still single and now lives abroad. She found out about the engagement a couple of months ago at Christmas. She mentioned needing to know the date early to book the cheapest flights home, and my fiancé was too shocked to reply. She doesn't want her sister there. I'm too excited about getting married to care too much one way or the other. I'd prefer her not to be there, but I'd roll with it if necessary. My fiancé doesn't want her there, but all her family assume it will be fine for the day because it's a family wedding and it should all be water under the bridge. I can't stress enough how little I care about the sister being there or not. I just want everyone else to be as happy at the wedding as I'll be. Impossible or as close to that as I can manage. Got a quick relative comment. Gosh, if only 149 people had warned you this would have happened 4 years ago. I'd let your fiancé handle this. Her sister, her family, her objection. Stay the hell out of it and support whatever your fiancé chooses. The OP replies, thanks, this is what I'm planning on doing, and if asked, I'll just support her choice. Let's think about this. It's unlikely Sarah will show up anyway. She just wants to raise a stink, and I feel like the drama you'd have in not inviting her to the wedding would be far worse than her being there. You both are going to be so busy on the day of the wedding that you won't even notice her there. That's if she even shows up. Planning a wedding is stressful enough without the added drama of family conflicts, especially when it involves an ex. It's a delicate situation, but maintaining open communication with your fiancé and supporting her decisions is key. The important thing is to focus on the joy of the occasion and the future you two are building together. Imagine the wedding day, the beautiful venue, the heartfelt vows, and the celebration of your love surrounded by family and friends. Amidst all this, the presence or absence of one person becomes less significant. The love and support from those who truly care about your happiness will overshadow any potential awkwardness. What do you make of all this? Do you think Op is crazy for marrying his ex's sister? Or is this a testament to the unpredictable ways love can bring people together? Relationships are complex, and sometimes the path to true happiness isn't straightforward. In the end, weddings are about 2 people committing to each other for better or worse. How far would you go in sickness and in health through thick and thin? The challenges you face together can either strengthen your bond or test it. What's important is how you navigate these challenges as a team. Next up, we'll dive into similar stories of unconventional love and the surprising ways people have found their happily ever after. Stay tuned for more real-life stories that will make you question everything you thought you knew about love and relationships. In second story, I'm divorcing my wife because she can't get over her mom dying. Yeah, I know everyone is fired up at the title and ready to tell me what an a-hole I am. To those people, I implore you to read the rest of this post before making a judgment. My 36 male wife's 33 female mothers passed away 5 years ago from lung cancer. It was not a peaceful or easy death. Our lives understandably went on pause after the diagnosis, and we both spent a lot of time off work helping care for her mother. My wife had a pretty typical showing of grief at the time, cycling through different stages, the same with our 3 kids. After she passed, however, my wife got bad. I understand this. I can't say I know exactly what she went through because I haven't had a parent die, but I understand how devastated she was. For months after, she could barely function. I gently took over pretty much all the responsibilities in the household and with the kids. She had been attending grief counseling since the diagnosis and continued after her mother's death. None of this is the problem. I endeavored to be as supportive as possible. She cried on my shoulder every night for months, and I just thought this was the worst of for better or worse. The problem is that after 5 years, she does not seem any better or more functional. She stopped grief counseling about 4 years ago and refused to go again, stating it would not help her and that nothing could. About a month before any major holiday, she will have a major downturn, be in bed half the day, cry all day, not want to interact with the family, and not have the energy to do anything around the house. This will go on every single day until about a week after the holiday ends. Every holiday is intense grief, just as much now as it was 5 years ago. October, November, December, and January, her mom's birthday month, every year are particularly bad. I'm essentially without my wife and am a single parent to my 3 kids altogether. She's completely incapacitated by grief for about 6 months out of the year and has been for the past 5 years. When I say incapacitated, I mean incapacitated. When she is in the depths of her grief, she is completely incapable of intimacy with me or the kids. There's no cuddling, spending time with us, going on family outings. I don't have sex for half the year. I've stopped asking her if she wants to talk about it because she can't get any words out between sobs if she tries. What hurts the most is that the kids have stopped asking or being concerned if they see their mom in bed when they get home. They just go about their day and might casually mention, "Oh, mom is sad today," if their siblings or I ask where she is. They don't seek affection from her anymore either. Her prolonged grief has created a heavy emotional and physical burden on our family. The children have adjusted to this new normal, but it's far from what I would want for them. As their father, I've tried my best to provide the stability and care they need, but it's hard to compensate for the emotional void left by their mother's ongoing mourning. I feel incredibly guilty for even considering divorce, but I also believe that my children and I deserve a chance at a happier life. Living in constant sorrow is affecting everyone's mental health. I've tried to talk to her about seeking help again, but she refuses. Her grief is so deep-seated that it seems to have become a part of her identity, and she's unable or unwilling to let it go. In sickness and in health, I vowed to stand by her, and I have. But where do we draw the line between supporting a loved one and sacrificing our well-being? How long should one wait for their partner to come back from the depths of despair? These are questions I wrestle with every day. I know people will judge me harshly, but those who have walked a mile in my shoes might understand the painful decision I face with her anymore because they rarely get anything more than tears. I've discussed this with therapists, my parents, friends, etc., and I know all the rebuttal people have for this, so let me preempt them. She's unwilling to go back to a therapy for grief counseling or to see a doctor for depression. Yes, I know she's severely depressed. I can't force her to go to the doctor. I've tried so much. Yes, it really is just as intense as it was 5 years ago. No, I never tell her to get over it or blow her off on my worst days. I just get space and leave her be. Most days I try to offer her some comfort. If you want to judge me for leaving her alone, whatever. But know that I feel like I essentially have cardiac or fatigue at this point. No, she does not have a history of depression, but she does have ADHD. Don't know if that's relevant. I feel like my wife died when her mom died. I would do anything to get her back, even a small piece of her, but she doesn't seem willing or able to move on past her mom's death. I feel awful for considering a divorce, but I don't know what else to do. Someone from the community has an opinion. I slathered myself in peanut butter and hugged him like a python. What kind of advice is that anyway? Moving on. Holy crap. I remember reading Op's first post. I was so heartbroken for him. The way he wrote his post, he seemed like a genuinely concerned husband who was at the end of his very, very long rope. But hot dang. Did I not see this going the way it did? Op is going to need a lot of support and a good therapist to get through all of the emotions this is going to bring on. On one hand, he's going to feel that sweet, sweet relief that he no longer has to tiptoe around his wife for months at a time, multiple times a year, and shield his children from her as he has been there for the past 5 years. He's got a struggle ahead of him for sure, but hopefully he finds peace with time spent apart from her. Once the negative emotions fade, I hope he starts to feel free and realizes he can finally live his life the way he wants to, instead of being a prisoner of her grief. That grief is no longer his problem. It's tough because the toll of your wife's prolonged grief isn't just affecting her, it's also impacting you and your children. It's concerning that your children have become accustomed to their mother's emotional state and have adapted by not seeking affection from her. This highlights the need for intervention and support for the entire family. Despite your best efforts, it's apparent that your wife's grief has become more chronic and debilitating, while you have attempted to encourage her to seek professional help. Her refusal to do so leaves you feeling stuck and unsure of what steps to take. It's important to explore all available options, including individual therapy for yourself to navigate this challenging situation. Grief is a hard path to navigate as I've made the difficult decision to file for divorce. Despite my efforts to support my wife and encourage her to seek help, she remains unwilling to address her mental health struggles. I understand that this is a challenging time for her, but her refusal to seek treatment is taking a toll on our family. I've come to realize that I can't continue to sacrifice my own well-being and that of our children while waiting for her to seek help. I still love her deeply, but I can't continue to enable her to avoid the help she needs. I've consulted with a lawyer and have begun the process of filing for divorce. I know it won't be easy, but I believe it's the best decision for both of us in the long run. Robot, providing minimal information and showing no emotion. She mentioned that she went to her friend John's house, someone I'd never heard of before. As I pressed for more details, she reluctantly explained that she had been having an affair with John for the past several months. I was floored. It felt like the ground had been ripped out from under me. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The woman I loved, the mother of my children, had been cheating on me. I tried to process everything she was saying, but it was like my brain couldn't keep up. She showed no remorse, no guilt, nothing. It was like she was talking about the weather, not destroying our family. I kicked her out of the house. I couldn't stand to look at her, to be near her. She packed a bag and left without saying another word. I haven't heard from her since. I'm numb. I don't know what to do. My whole world has been shattered, and I don't know how to pick up the pieces. I'm trying to be strong for my kids, but inside I'm falling apart. I watched her drive away, feeling a mix of relief and devastation. Relief that the truth was out in the open, but devastated by the betrayal of someone I thought I knew so well. The house felt empty without her presence, but at the same time, there was a sense of liberation in the air. For days, I couldn't bring myself to go through our shared spaces, fearing what other secrets I might uncover. Every corner held the potential to unravel more lies, more deceit. I oscillated between rage and sorrow, unable to find solid ground amidst the emotional whirlwind. Friends and family reached out, offering support and sympathy, but their words felt hollow against the backdrop of my shattered trust. How could I confide in anyone when the person closest to me had been living a double life right under my nose? Amid the chaos, one question loomed large. Where do I go from here? How do I begin to rebuild when the foundation of my life has been so thoroughly shaken? The answers eluded me, buried beneath layers of hurt and confusion. Days turned into weeks, and I slowly started to pick up the pieces of my fractured existence. Therapy sessions offered a lifeline, a safe space to unpack the trauma and begin the process of healing. Each session brought clarity and insight, helping me untangle the web of emotions that had ensnared me. Slowly but surely, I started to reclaim my sense of self. I rediscovered hobbies long forgotten and reconnected with friends who had stood by me through it all. Each small step forward felt like a victory, a testament to my resilience in the face of adversity. As time passed, the wounds began to heal, leaving behind scars as a reminder of what I had endured. I no longer felt shackled by the weight of betrayal. Instead, I found strength in my newfound independence. The road ahead was uncertain, but I walked it with a newfound purpose, knowing that I had the resilience to overcome whatever challenges lay in my path. The weight of the situation is immense, and it's understandable to feel overwhelmed and paralyzed by the enormity of it all. The betrayal runs deep, cutting to the core of your trust and sense of security. It's natural to question everything and wonder how you'll ever move forward from this point. Navigating the complexities of divorce and custody arrangements only adds to the burden, amplifying the sense of helplessness and despair. The prospect of dismantling a life once shared with someone who has now become a stranger is daunting, to say the least. Your emotional resilience in the face of such adversity is commendable. Putting on a brave face for your children, despite the turmoil raging within you, is a testament to your strength as a parent. Finding moments of solace in the quiet of the night, even amidst tears, speaks to your ability to endure. As for John, the pain of betrayal is raw and palpable. It's natural to harbor feelings of anger and resentment towards him, but ultimately, his role in this tumultuous ordeal pales in comparison to the betrayal from your spouse. The choice she made to prioritize her connection with him over her commitment to you and your family is a wound that cuts deep. In times like these, reaching out for support from trusted friends, family, or a therapist can provide a lifeline of comfort and guidance. Though the road ahead may seem daunting, know that you are not alone. Some resources and people can help you navigate this tumultuous chapter of your life, and though the path may be uncertain, there is hope for healing and a brighter future beyond the pain. In moments of profound betrayal and heartache, it's natural to feel like your world is crumbling around you. But amidst the chaos, there's a glimmer of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is resilience, strength, and the capacity to rebuild. As you navigate the turbulent waters of divorce and custody battles, remember that you are not defined by the actions of others. Your worth is not diminished by the choices you make. You are a beacon of light in the storm, a pillar of strength for your children, and a survivor in the face of adversity. In the end, this painful chapter will become a part of your story, a testament to your courage, your perseverance, and your unwavering commitment to finding peace and healing. And though the journey may be arduous, know that you have the strength within you to emerge from the darkness into the light. So take each day as it comes, lean on those who offer support and solace, and remember that even in the depths of despair, there is always the possibility of a new beginning, a chance to rediscover joy, reclaim your sense of self, and forge a path forward filled with hope and possibility. Thank you for joining me on this emotional journey. If you found this content valuable and would like to see more, consider subscribing to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and with your help, I hope to achieve my dream of reaching 1,000 subscribers. But to get there, I need your support to reach my first milestone of 100 subscribers. Together, we can make a difference and continue sharing stories of resilience, growth, and hope. So hit that subscribe button and let's embark on this journey together. Thank you for your support.